All right, welcome to Zombie Survival. I'm going to work these first two problems out with you so that you have a good place to start if you need help. So it says you're part of a team made of 4 men. Let me go ahead and underline 4 men and 3 women. You're in a zombie-infested wooden area and they're closing in on your camp quickly. Luckily, the former truck driver in your team has salvaged a CB radio and was able to communicate with Camp Nirvana just southwest of your current location. The bad thing is it's going to take 7 days to get there, driving through temperate terrain with rest stops. So it says before you leave, you need to make sure that your team has enough water for everyone. Due to the zombie apocalypse, everybody left quickly and you only have soda cans and 1 large water container. You have to make sure to measure out enough water for the 7-day journey. Use the space below to calculate how many cans of water you need. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to identify what's my known. Well, my known here is I have 7 days to travel. My unknown is how many cans of water. So I'm going to turn to my reference table here and first find out I've got 4 men and 3 women. How much water are they going to need? So the first thing is I'm going to do my known. I have 7 days. I've got days on the top, so I'm going to need day on the bottom. Well, the conversion factor that I found was that I need for 1 day, I'm going to need 79 cups of water. Now I've got cups on the top, so I need cups on the bottom. The conversion factor I found, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to write these conversion factors right up here. So we've got 79 cups, that make it easier to see, per 1 day. I'm going to need 1 ounce is equal to 0.125 cups. And that 1 can is equal to 12 ounces. Those were the 3 different conversion factors that I needed. So I've got days to day, cups. So if I have cup on the top, I'm going to need cups on the bottom. I'm trying to end with how many cans. So there are 0.125 cups is equal to 1 ounce. If I've got ounce on the top, I need ounce on the bottom. There are 12 ounces in 1 can. Remember, you know that you're ready to stop when you've ended with the unit that you need. That's the unit that I needed. And remember also that my known is always going to be placed in the top of my factor label table. So now the last part is to go ahead and calculate this because I'm to my ending. So I'm going to multiply the numbers across the top together. And of course, that's going to give me 79. Then I'm going to multiply the numbers on the bottom together. So it's going to be 1 times 0.125 times 12. So that's going to give me 1.5. I go ahead and reduce that fraction, 79 divided by 1.5. And that's going to give me 52, whoops, badly written too, 52.66666. Now, I only need 1 significant figure for this answer. So decimals present. So here's the first number, followed by a 2. So what I would want to do is I should need about 50 cans. If it was me, I would throw in an extra one, or an extra couple of them. Oh, hang on. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Back up. We've got an incidence here where we're counting something. We have 7 days. So when you're counting things, this is one of those oddball rules, when you're counting things, you have an infinite number of significant figures. So we've got 7 complete days. We're not measuring those. It's a complete full day. So we're actually going to leave the significant figures the way it is. This is going to be 52.6 cans is what we're going to need, and that kind of makes sense. And I would round that up to 53 if it was me making this trip. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Food is another concern before the trip begins. Everyone's been accustomed to a 1,500 calorie diet during the current state of zombies. There's hardly any food left at your camp, but luckily 2 men scouted an apple orchard about a mile away. An 189-gram apple has 95 calories. Will 35 pounds of apples be enough for one day? So let's go ahead and go over to our things and figure out what kind of conversion factors we need. Well, we know that we have 7 people because we want the total number of apples, right? So our known is going to be 7 people. Our unknown is going to be how many pounds of apples. And so I could actually write ahead and just do my 7 people. And again, this is one of those things where we're counting people. So this is going to have an infinite number of significant figures. So my answer is going to be whatever I get in the calculator. Let's jump over to the conversion factors and see what I need. All right, so to do this problem, and I'm just going to write it down here. The conversion factors I'm going to need is everyone has become to a diet of 1,500 calories. So we're going to have 1,500 calories per person. That's one conversion factor. I'm just going to kind of write them all over the place here. We've got an apple weighs 189 grams. So looking at my conversion factors, I'm going to definitely need the fact that we've got 189 grams of apple will give us 95 calories. And I'm also going to need the fact that 1 pound is equal to, excuse me, 453.6 grams. So these are the conversion factors I'm going to need. There's a number of different ways you can do this problem. I'm just going to work out it this way. So if I've got people on the top, so 1 person is going to need 1,500 calories. Now, when I know what the conversion factors I need, I sometimes like to drop down and just cross them off. I've used that one, I'm not going to use it again. If I have calories on the top, I need calories on the bottom. 95 calories per 189 grams of apple. I've used that conversion factor. Now, if I have 1 pound of apples, that's going to be, oops, sorry. I hate it when I flip that, but actually it's kind of a good thing because I have to check to make sure, so I need grams on the bottom there. So my grams is going to be 453.6 grams to 1 pound. Because I'm trying to end with pounds, so you can see that I looked and went, wait a minute, I got to end with pounds, I got to flip that. So now let's double check and make sure my units are canceling off. People to people, calories to calories, apple to grams of apple to grams of apple to pounds of apple. So now let's go ahead and put that in the calculator. And I'm going to use my fraction button. So in the top of the fraction button, 7 times 1,500 times 189 times 1. And I'm going to drop down in my fraction button. I've got 1 times 95 times 453.6. And that equals I'm just using my calculator to do the whole math problem. 46.05 blah, 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 blah. Now the question was, will 35 pounds of apples be enough for one day? And the answer to this question is no. You need 46 pounds at least. 35 pounds is not going to be enough. And there's your answer. All right, go ahead and continue this. Again, in class, you're working on this. If you're home, you're just going to go ahead and continue this. I'm going to put the answers for each one in this video also so that you can check to see if you're working at home, if your answer was right. I'm not going to show you how to do the work. And you need to show me the work in order to get credit for it. But I am going to put the answers for each one. There's a couple different ways to do that. Beginning. All right, for number 3, the answer you should get is 2,695 miles. The answer for number 4 should be 340 liters of gas. The answer to number 5 is 45,638 aluminum cans. Let me just back to the answer to number 6. You should get 51 glass blocks. All right. And that should be the end for that. Again, in order to get credit for these, you have to show your work. Okay, good luck. I hope you survive. Go ahead and go to the sheet here. Right down here it says what the water requirements are. Each male is going to need 13 cups, and I have 4 men, so 13 times 4 equals 52. For the women, it told me that I have 3 women, and each female is going to need 9 cups, so 9 times 3. I could have done that one in my head, is 27. So when I add these together, it's going to give me 79 cups of water. So I know I'm going to need a total of 79 cups of water. Now, a cup is not a can, so I got to find some conversion factors. So here's cups. This is kind of like what we did the other day. We've got cups to ounces. Now I need to know how many ounces to a soda can. See how I'm following the trail of the units. I'm going to need ounces, and I'm going to need soda cans. So now I'm ready to go ahead and kind of work this problem out. So for this one here, I'm going to be looking down here. We've got 1 apple equals 95 calories. Well, I'm definitely going to need that one. How many calories per person? Calories per person is given to me in the problem. And how many grams in a pound? I'm going to need that one. So let's jump ahead and write those conversion factors down so we've got them handy.